It's Mixing Night Live from the AES convention in New York City, broadcasting from the legendary The Cutting Room Studios in Midtown Manhattan. Tonight is a special night of community as Ken is joined live by an incredible mix of creatives across the music industry spectrum. Ken hosts many of them in the control room tonight, so have your chat roll questions ready. Tonight, Mixing Night Audio shows off our brand new plugin ALLCOMP, the ultimate all-in-one compressor. Sights and sounds from the AES convention floor. Also tonight, Ken shows his personal techniques on the brand new UAD top-line vocal suite. We have 4 live giveaways tonight from our amazing sponsors. Enter to win in the description: Cloudlifter X by Cloud Microphones, Gold Clip from Schwab Digital, Listen To from Audio Movers, and Top Line Vocal Suite from UAD Spark. It's an AES party at the legendary Cutting Room Studios. Join us for the next 2 hours. It's Mixing Night. It is Mixing Night. I'm your host, Ken Lewis, and I have a control room absolutely full of music industry lunatics in here ready to participate in tonight's show. Roger Cloud from Cloud Mics is here, Ryan Schwab from Schwab Digital, Matt from Audio Movers, and there is a whole who's who of people in the building tonight, especially with the Mixing Night community. We have some Mixing Night OGs that I am so happy are here tonight. We have Sam Champagne, who's been checking out the show with the community since the beginning. We have Rory Miller, who's been there from the beginning. Rory Miller just co-designed Mixhead with Make Believe Audio and Metric Halo and Serban. You know, the impact the show has had has just been really special to me and all of our crew. We've had so many people helping out tonight for tonight's broadcast. We are ready to throw down. We're going to include everybody in the broadcast. We're going to do 20 questions throughout the night. Throw us your questions on the chat roll, and I will feed them to these people. And we are ready for Mixing Night. You guys have a great night. Oh, we're debuting our brand new Mixing Night Audio plugin, ALLCOMP. Yes, we reskinned LOLCOMP. Woo! And the crowd goes wild! Yes, we reskinned LOLCOMP for ALLCOMP. So if you love gear, you get ALLCOMP. If you love gamified shit, then you get LOLCOMP. That's what we do. And tonight I'm showing you guys a whole bunch of stuff on UAD Spark Top Line Vocal Suite. They did it. It's a smorgasbord tonight. Let us get started. I want to poll the room a little bit and just see who's here. We got Niu. I forget your name. I'm sorry. Marcus Manderson, Wavy Wayne, Keith Ross. Is that Sam Champagne? Sam Champagne. Kelsey. Angelo. I don't know you. Big Ben. Rory Miller. Is that Liravelli? No, I don't know who this is. Josh Gannon. Oh my God, the gang's all here.
killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away.
That does not sound like reverb to me. Screwing myself here.
Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, and slide, no escape from reality, and slide, no escape from reality. Open and slide. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, Galileo, Magnifico. Galileo, 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 Galileo. Put a gun against his head, pulled eyes, look up to the skies and see. The way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me. Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time, hold it on. No escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, because I'm easy come, easy go. Little easy, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Too late, my time has come. Sent shivers down my spine, body's aching all the time. Goodbye, everybody, I've got to go. Gotta leave you all behind and face the truth. Mama, I don't wanna die. I sometimes wish I'd never been born at all. There's a devil. Big up Beelzebub, there's a devil put aside for me. Beelzebub, there's a devil put aside for me. For me, for me. Big up Beelzebub, there's a devil put aside for me. For me, for me. It's the truth, Mama. Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Bismillah. Let him go. Bismillah. Let him go. Bismillah. Let you go. Let you go. Let me go. Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me, for me, for
All right. I don't know if my mic is on right now. Guys, is my microphone on? Room mic is on the whole. Yeah, I know. I did not. Anyway. I don't think the broadcast audio was so sweet on that, but the room audio apparently landed well. I don't know why I am not getting the guys in the control room, the Apollo to you guys, but it's not. Somebody's texting me. Hang on. Oh. All right. In the meantime, I am going to do something absolutely blasphemous. Who's calling me? That's the pro. Come on, guys. Okay. I am going to put the new Universal Audio top line vocal suite on this thing and butcher poor Freddie Mercury. Sorry, Freddie, you got to go. Where's my foot switch? But now I've gone and thrown it all. What's that?
Board's muted.
Hey guys, the Apollo is not making it to the broadcast, guys. That's what the problem is. This is the only thing that you guys have been hearing, not the Apollo. I hear the Apollo, it's not getting to you. However we're busing the microphones is not the same as we're busing the Apollo. It should be going everything down the same set of buses to you guys. Put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama. Actually, B flat. Put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. The only thing going to broadcast right now is this. I can hear my computer, but it is not making it to broadcast.
Play it really quick.
So, this thing, we are getting the full board mix, like, to the broadcast. The broadcast is here and everything, all the moves you're doing. Right now it's just chopping out sometimes, but...
Freddie, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, Freddie. Please forgive me. I'm going to show this thing more in depth later, but I'll give you a little sneak peek. It's got a saturator, a compressor, a de-esser, an equalizer with an airband, It's got a multi-effects thing with a whole bunch of choices here. Then we've got the delay module here and a reverb module there. Man, this thing is action-packed. They just sent it to me this week, and I've been playing with it today. Whoa. Yeah, this thing is mean. Okay. Enough butchering Freddie Mercury. I'm sorry again, Freddie. I didn't mean to. All right. Mixing night community here. I'm going to ask you guys, we're going to kick off with 20 questions, and you guys get to answer, whoever wants to answer any of these. I hope you've been reading over them and thinking about them. I want to know, how do you know when a mix is done? Who wants to answer, how do you know when a mix is done?
All right.
Oh, you got it?
Come on down. Come on down.
Hey, my name is Nick. I know a mix is done when I get to close my eyes, kick back a little bit in my chair, and just kind of vibe out to the beat, really feel the rhythm, and kind of surrender my thoughts radically to any fine detail that I'm thinking about, whether it be the amount of syllables the singer is singing, or what kind of harmony, or, oh my gosh, should I calibrate the EQ correctly? I just kind of appreciate music as a fan and not as a crazy mad scientist. And admittedly, I have a pet parrot. Whenever he starts to sing and chirp, kind of cues me that this is actually music and not just cats dying.
Wayne, you got something to contribute?
Well, yeah, I mean, all of that, definitely the point when you get to just sit back and be a fan of the music for sure. But also when I get that text say, yo, Wayne, where's the mix? Then it's done.
All right. So my trick with knowing when a mix is finished is I do the bottom of the stairs test or the push back and listen test. So my old studio in Jersey, I had the studio was down the bottom of the staircase, and so I would open the door and I would turn the volume up way loud and I'd go sit at the bottom of the stairs. And if I could understand every lyric and if everything sounded complete to me, then that was usually done. And that's the, how the real world kind of tends to hear it. And so that's my little secret. Okay. How will AI impact the people wanting to work in our industry? Who wants to field that one?
Somebody gotta jump in.
Nobody?
Look, I'll jump in. Look.
Come on, baby. It's you and me,
for
baby.
look,
Let's do this.
For me, I'm excited about AI because I think it's gonna remove like all the grunt work, right?
Yeah.
Like more specifically, Avid actually showed us some dope today where they got the transcribe feature where they can listen to the lyrics and then like transcribe it, right? And then we can use that to automatically go to certain words. So I'm like, yo, I can use that to much more quickly do radio edits, clean versions of songs. And I'm just hoping, like, and then building on top of that, maybe even bouncing down, stems can be bounced down using AI features or something to make it a whole lot easier. So making it do the work for us, not the art for us, I think is the dope part.
I like that.
Nice. Yeah, I think AI is going to be a lot like auto-tune in that now songwriters are going to be able to craft the voice that they want to perform the song that they're trying to write without the shackles of having to find a singer and have them capture the essence of what you wrote. Now you're going to be able to do that all with AI, and it's going to be totally legal. There's going to be people like DJ Swivel has a new company called Hooky, and they're signing vocalists who want to have their voices used for AI, just like producers making beat packs. It's the exact same thing. And so you're going to be able to go onto Hooky and dial up your favorite voice and use that in your sound, in your song, and nobody's going to know it's AI. That is what's coming, and so much worse. But the great thing about AI is if we know it's coming, knowledge is power. If you don't know it's coming, it's going to pass you right by. But if you know the tools that are coming, then you can identify the tools that line up with your thinking and go, this could get me further here, and this could do this. And these are just tools. They are always just tools.
Ken?
What's that?
Is that not what you did?
with AI.
Yeah, you put yourself ahead of everything, right?
Well, I mean, I try to keep myself ahead of the
did.
curve,
You did it
but
in a
sometimes I'm
way-
way too far ahead of the curve.
You did it in a way that nobody saw coming, and you reaped the benefits, right?
Well, moving to Cincinnati did not suck. That was a game changer. So I'm talking to Mike DeSalvo right now from I Build Music Studios, and Mike designed and built my entire Studio A 914 ATMOS room, which is amazing. And thank you, Mike. What a great room we have. And if you've seen previous mixing nights, it's the triple projection. So I've got like my whole front wall is like a big life-size Apple Vision Pro. And Mike designed that whole thing. It's soundproof to the nines. It sounds incredible in there. So anybody who needs a studio built or design, tap in with Mike.
And anybody needs a studio mixer,
Mhm.
same way.
Let's see. Let's go. How about? Does anybody have a question that they have read through that they want to answer in the audience?
Yep, you had something. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I
jump
did.
up.
Yeah. I like.
Step up, Sam.
Yeah.
Sam Champagne.
Yeah.
Step up so we can hear you.
My name is Sam Champagne. It's nice to meet y'all in the flesh. Finally, all y'all beautiful faces. Y'all look more beautiful off the computer screen. Just want to put that out there. Really, insanely. But first and foremost, upcoming artist that y'all should know, Sam Champagne, obviously. But more than that, I'm a part of a community of amazing musicians, and like, just to put in perspective, one of the musicians that I met in passing that I actually really enjoyed talking to and like going to vocal class with, her name was Malia Joy Moon. And she did the vocal, she's the lead in Hell's Kitchen musical, so please check her out. And beyond that, I think one of my closest friends, I just adore him. His name is Nakri, and the band Nakri and the Villains. Please check them out. You know, rock is making a resurgence. You see Linkin Park is back.
Oh yeah.
I've also worked with them, which
I'm
is
excited
check it
about
out.
Linkin Park being back.
Yes. So check out Thackeray and the Villains, and their big song right now is Usurper, but I really, really love their new song, Endless, and Fallen Angel, and all of it. So just stream all of it. So yeah,
Sweet.
that's it.
Awesome. Anybody else got a question they want to answer that they've gone through? No?
How's Mazzy?
Mazzy is missing her daddy right now, and Daddy's not missing Mazzy
Mazzy's
at all. I don't need that dog. I just Maz, I'm coming home soon. It's fine. It's fine. I don't miss Maz. Let's see. What is a piece of advice that you wish someone had given you early in your career? Oh, who wants to field that one?
Can I do a double whammy?
Sure.
I really wish someone told me to. Okay, I know everyone
Step
says
up.
to make the music you love, but when they say that, I mean also like pull the songs you love from, and like even remake those and make those and study them to the nines, and like pull them into your DAW and see what like synthesizers they use, what vocals they use, how they do it, how they process it. If I had known that and used that as a guide, I feel like I would have been launched as a producer much faster. But thankfully, finding Mixing Night community and learning that later on, at least now, I know, you know, and finding a community. That's the second thing. Make sure you
Yeah.
find a community when you're doing music, because that'll also launch you.
100%.
I'll give you an answer for that, Ken.
Yeah.
I
Here's
wish,
Marcus, step up, Marcus.
Marcus
Step
Manson.
up.
Mixing Nightmare, Mr.
Woo!
I wish someone told me to get into sync and trailers sooner. Been enjoying the journey, and it's because of this community and this show. And when Michael Moss was on there, I was like, oh, I want to be that guy or be like that guy. And so I've been diving in over the last few years into sync and trailers. I wish I knew earlier, you know, but seeing the light now.
Nice. I think my advice for young artists is don't feel like you got to get out of the gate too fast. Everybody feels like you make a song and you need everybody to hear it, but you probably haven't made a great song your first few times out, your first 15 or 30 times out. And you're learning your craft, and that is not the time to be showcasing your material to the world, because they're probably going to judge it pretty harshly. Now, every now and then, some savant comes along and creates something amazing. You know, we'll put them to the side. We're talking the rest of us. And I feel like learn your gear, learn songwriting, collaborate with people, and level up to a point where you really feel like you're delivering quality songs before you put them out there. And then you'll get much better responses and your followings will build much quicker. So that's what I got for you. Let's see, it is 8:29. When are we gonna do? Are we ready for Dom Ravinius producer news?
Dom's in?
He's not.
Dom's in.
Dom is not in. Let's not roll it yet.
Shout out to Dom.
But so Dom Ravinius is the co-founder of Mixing Night with me and Lori, and he has become a badass K-pop producer. I mean, lethal. That dude has been racking up singles. I'll let him tell you. You take it away, Dom. Apparently, I sent it to your WhatsApp. Check your WhatsApp, Jonathan. Let's see. All right, while they're checking the WhatsApp, I am going to go one more question for you guys. How about, do we have any mix engineers in here?
Maybe one or two.
On one channel, how many plugins is too many? On one channel, how many plugins is too many?
When it starts sounding overprocessed.
Step up, step up.
When it starts sounding overprocessed. That's
like
it.
3 studios built at one time.
I wanna bring-
Anybody else?
I want to bring Rory to the front.
I don't think you can ever have too many plugins on one channel.
That's the answer.
Is that what he said?
That
I
is
said
the
you can never
correct
have too many
answer.
plugins on one channel, man.
And when your computer starts stopping.
They gotta get a new computer.
Well, you can freeze, so
You're right.
And if you run out of, then you bust that track to an aux and add more plugins if those 10 slots aren't enough.
Or you commit.
Or commit it and keep processing.
Every clipper
I like it. I like it.
Yes.
All right. Well, here's how many plugins I think are enough. Basically, like I've shown this to a bunch of young mixers that when they'll show me their mixes and I see like just a stack of plugins on, especially the lead vocal, and the lead vocal still sounds like shit. I'm like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna duplicate this track, and we're gonna remove all of the plugins off of this track, and we are gonna mute your plugin track, and we are gonna start again from scratch, ready to go. And almost always they come up with something better and more cohesive faster. And there's just a tendency to do too much. And the whole point of mixing is to capture the vibe and not fuck up the vibe. Like I was just talking about this on, I think, Help Me Devon, who's here tonight. Where is Help Me Devon? Anyway, I was just on his podcast talking about the Once Upon a Time in Shaolin record. And the toughest thing about mixing the Once Upon a Time in Shaolin record, it was all analog mix, was not doing too much. Everything that you would do to make it sound like a mix took away from the vibe. So you always got to be conscious of the song you're mixing and only do what's right for the song. But if it needs 10 plugins, use 10 plugins.
Here.
So
Here.
let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find out if no. I sent John. I just sent it on WhatsApp just now. You should have it. But we can. Let's go to the for your consideration. You can put that up, and I'll talk about it. So it is Grammy season, everybody. All right. Do we have any Grammy voting members in the house? 1, 2, 3, 4. Several Grammy voting members in the house. All right. Take notes, everybody. And you guys in the viewing audience, take notes all of you Grammy members, tap in. I worked on 2 projects that I think have excellent chances of a Grammy nomination this year. One of them is Alicia Keys' Hell's Kitchen cast album for her Broadway play that won 2 Tony Awards and had 13 Tony Award nominations. Are you even kidding me? So I mixed Kaleidoscope and several songs on the album, and come on. And Taj Farrant, Chapter 1, Best Contemporary Blues Album. Oh, well, thank you. So yeah, Taj Farrant is a generational blues player. I have rarely seen people of that talent level, especially on guitar, and his voice has come into his own. We made a great record that I truly believe is Grammy worthy, and I hope everybody in Grammy voting land please cast a vote for Best Contemporary Blues Album for Taj Farrant. He is a killer. He's going to have a long career. Let's see. Oh, and on that note, we actually have a message from Taj Farrant to the Grammy voters. Let's roll it.
Hey guys, Taj Farrant here. First off, I'd just like to say thank you for the Grammy consideration nomination. So it's pretty cool. And secondly, I'd like to say thank you to Ken Lewis for helping with this album. It's been pretty fun. It's my first full album, and I got to do it with someone who actually listened to how I had visions and stuff. So I was like, I think of this, and he was like, we can do something out of that. But thank you, Ken. And yeah, thank you guys, everybody who has voted so far. But votes are still open, and it would be cool to see how far we can get. But thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on the next one.
I know I've seen on Help Me Devon, but I feel like you have another one.
No, I mean, what do you guys want to answer?
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
answer. Shit. I'm tweaked with the questions right now.
Are we back live?
Make
I
it
think
more like,
we're back live.
When Ken makes a mix, how does he do it? You know what I mean?
Let's see.
Or what's
I am going to show you guys
not doing
all
it on,
comp
like,
now.
Q buses?
So,
Like, how do you get there? That's all.
let's see.
That's
All
all
right.
the real stuff slots.
All right. I'm going to show you guys all comp if I can get this thing fired up. So, and speaking of Taj Farrant, this is the Taj Farrant single I Give Up, which went #1 on the iTunes Blues charts, #2 on Billboard Blues charts, and I think we're going to hit #1 on Billboard Blues when the vinyl drops on this in November. So fingers crossed. If you haven't gotten your pre-sale vinyl, get your pre-sale. All of those pre-sales drop on the same day for the same chart, and that's how we get to #1. So tap in with tajfarrant.com and buy your merch. Check him out on tour. The kid is amazing. And thank you, Taj, for sending our viewers a personal message. I appreciate that. I'm sure they do too. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard Taj's music, well, you're about to. So this song is I Give Up. This was a #1 iTunes Blues single as well. And I'm going to show you guys some ALLCOMP. So ALLCOMP, if you didn't know, is our brand new plugin from Mixing Night Audio. It is just a reskin of LOLCOMP, same exact interface. It's just, you know, we've gotten a lot of feedback, and some people are gearheads and they want gear, and some people are gamers and they want gamified shit. So we figured we would give you both. And, you know, and it's funny, when I use it mentally, it's like a different experience. So, you know, I really think there's something to just connecting with the tools that you like and make sense with you, and not, you know, feeling like you have to have every tool in the universe except for ALLCOMP, which you definitely need right now. And it's on sale for $99. That's 33% off. I think the code is AES99. And without further ado, I'm going to start showing you guys what this thing does.
I gave up everything I own, except the 6.
you guys to key into how fast these sounds come together. That is the whole key of this interface, that it's really easy. Vocals or any instrument like a vocal, violins, trumpets, they're kind of all in that same ballpark. Low end is like 808s, kick drums, you know, bass lines, anything. Punch is usually for drums and compression, but punch also works great on like a piano for EDM or some shit that you really want the transients of the piano to pop through, but the chords to really sustain. And then smooth is like a real gentle compression, and it starts adding a little bit of air, and then it adds weight as it goes. And then heat is saturation into destruction, distortion. And it's the full range. Sounds amazing. I'll try and show you guys a little bit later. And then the LMAO section on the drop down, levitate, mash, awaken, oxidate. We have levitate is like a tilt. So it kind of evens up your frequencies so the compression works more smoothly. Mash is an end stage limiter if you just need that extra little squeeze. Awaken is mid presence or an air band. And oxidate is 5 of my reverb choices. I went through and I used so many different reverbs for this, and I picked the 5 that I was like, every time I use these, they sound good on what I think they're gonna sound good on. So the reverb is meant for like, hey, try it and see if you get any space out of it, and if it helps you. If not, you know, no big deal. And it's really just less verb, more verb. It's that simple. This whole thing has been designed to be the easiest plugin on planet Earth to get amazing results with. Let me show you some more.
I gave up everything I own, except the 6 strings on my guitar, telling you every truth I know, just a lie. Everything I own, except the 6 strings on my guitar. You every truth I know, just a lie. I gave up everything I own.
It's really like almost anything you can imagine a sound to be, you can probably get it with ALLCOMP. And let me show you some more.
Except the 6 strings on my guitar, telling you every truth I know, just a lie. I gave up everything I own, except the 6 strings on my guitar, telling you every truth I know, just a lie. I gave up everything I own, except the 6 strings on my guitar, telling you every truth I know, just a lie. I gave up everything I own, except the 6 strings on my guitar, telling you every truth I know, just a lie. I gave up everything I guitar, telling you every truth I know, just a lie. I gave up everything I own, except the 6 strings on my guitar, telling you every truth I.
Oh yeah, that is ALLCOMP.
One question for you, Ken.
Yes, hit me.
So,
Step up. Wait.
Yeah. So about ALLCOMP, when it comes to like, is there like an outboard compressor you can kind of compare it to for like reference? Because it sounds really warm, so I'm like, oh, it kind of feels like a tube something.
So I modeled this after my own chains. So the vocal chain is basically my interpretation of Kramer Pi and a distressor. It's not exact, but it's pretty fucking close. And it actually, I like the results that I'm getting with this better. I'm modeling several things under the hood that you aren't aware of. Like the low end chain is front loaded with fast attack, fast release limiter, and then it hits into compression. So I'm doing a bunch of different things, and then as you turn the dial, the compression settings and the aggression settings change. So the in and out is one method of setting your compression, but also the tone of the compression is going to change fairly radically over the throw of the dial. So that's basically what's happening. But I'd say vocals are like Pi and distressor. Low end is limiting. This is like a slow attack, fast release compressor on punch. So you let all those nice transients through, and then you clamp down and you push everything forward with it. And smooth is just like a real gentle, like LA2A-ish type of thing. And heat is, I think it's got a little bit of limiting, but it's mostly just saturation and distortion. So that's what we're twerking with. Let's get back to 20 questions. Let's see what everybody wants to throw down with. Okay, 20 questions again for the group. 20 questions again for the group. If you could go back and give yourself advice at the start of your career, what advice would you give yourself? Who would like to take that answer?
I'll jump in, man, since everybody's standing on the walls. Y'all holding the walls up very nicely, though. You know, if I go back and give myself some advice, I would say find like one thing and really dig deeper on that. You know, when I got into my career, I kind of started on production and recording and mixing and tried to just put my hands on all the things. So I would say, you know, kind of pick one and kind of dig really deep as far as you can.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would you have found that one thing if you didn't try to do everything first?
Nope. But now that I found it, I guess now I'm digging as deep as possible, right? All right. Good question.
No, yeah, because I kind of
Brian
did the
Schwab.
same thing.
Yep.
What's good, man?
What's good,
Sorry,
motherfucker?
I'm late.
Oh, you're not late. You're right on time. It's Ryan Schwab in the house. Schwab Digital. I think we're giving away Gold Clip at some point tonight. I don't know if we've given away anything yet. We're giving away a Cloud Lifter X2, Gold Clip, the UAD Spark top line vocal suite, and I know we're giving away something else.
ALLCOMP.
ALLCOMP. No, we're not giving away. No, you must buy that. We're giving away something else. You guys can win it. Tune in. The entry is in the description of the video you are watching right now. Enter to win below. If you haven't entered yet, then I haven't told you guys to, and you guys might have missed. There might only be like 10 or 15 people signed up for like major prizes. So go get it right now and let us know. Oh, shout out to Rugged and Prez for buying ALLCOMP just now. Rugged, Prez. Woo! Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, what is the what advice would I give myself if I went back and started my career? I'm the exact opposite of Wavy in that I tried all of these different things, and then they all became my octopus tentacles of my career. And like, I do the craziest, I have the weirdest resume on planet Earth in the music industry. Not the best, just the weirdest. Go to kenlewis.com and you'll be like, oh yeah, that is really freaking weird. So what can I say? It's oh, somebody's winning something. What's up?
How's it going? Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. We're in mid-broadcast. We gotta go.
Sauce man.
Take care. What was I giving my? Oh, so my advice to my younger self would be, just do exactly what you're gonna do. It worked out well for me. But a lot of people, I think a lot of people don't realize how all in you have to go if you want an actual career in music. And especially if you want to be an artist, because that's like the golden ring of, that is a hard thing to achieve. So you got to understand that if you're not working 7 days a week for this shit, if you can only intern 1 or 2 days a week and you're like, okay, that's going to get me established, I'm just giving you a reality check. There is plenty of people out there finding a way to intern 7 days a week for the biggest studios on planet Earth. They are leveling up and learning so much so fast, and those are typically the people that rise in the community because they become the reliable people in those major studios. And so it's the grind. If you want this, you really have to work for it. Don't look back 5 years later and go, you know, if I had only. No, not if I had only. Do it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one for this room. What role does social media play in your career today, and how do you approach building your brand? How? Anybody? How about you, Ryan Schwab?
How's social media build my career?
Yes.
Well,
For plugins and for mastering.
For music, I mean, it's my kind of like real-time portfolio. So like everything that I'm doing, I'm trying to document in some way. So, you know, whether it's a record I mastered or if I'm in a studio space with some people, I try to just like create a flow of energy and a flow of like action, so people kind of perceive it as please perceive me as somebody that's constantly doing things, and it's not just a perception, it's a reality. I'm constantly doing things, but if I'm not showing people, they don't know that what you're doing, right? And so as much as I dislike presenting myself all the time online because I'm kind of a private introvert, I just kind of fight through that, and I got over that that private aspect of my life. I kind of been okay with making my life somewhat public. I still don't post my breakfast, but I do post like a record that I work on, and it really it draws people to you, and when people get drawn to you, it brings work, right? And so that's on the music side, and then on the social media side for like making things and like selling software or making tools that are like impactful to music makers. I just like to showcase music that my software is used on, same type of things, very similar energy, and I like to just shitpost and engage with people in a comedic way that is light and not serious, because a lot of like the audio world's like very rigid.
I just saw
like,
your
and
cat
I come
post.
from making like stuff from being a music maker, and so to me it's light. It's not like I make very serious tools, but I try to carry it with like this, just kind of like a lighter flow to it.
Not me.
Not you.
I have to piggyback on that, especially the shit posting, because I started posting like memes of my music over it, and a lot of times, a lot of my own like friends have like blown up from memes. So like, if you're wondering how an artist can like blow up, use memes. Use memes, put your music over it, because I find a lot of musicians who post on social media put musician tags. And the
Yeah.
thing with that is that it also reaches other musicians. And a lot of times, other musicians are also kind of tired of seeing other musicians a little bit. So like, it's like, oh, another artist promoting their music. Oh, another artist promoting. So when you put on memes that everyone can relate to and can like step out of the zone of just being a music, like reaching music timelines, that's when you really start to hit people who are like, haha, that's a funny meme. What's that song in the background? And like literally, that's one of the ways like some of my music has like gone up recently. And also like making beats and like kind of like showing people how I make beats. Sometimes it's showing people, but other times I'm like acting like, oh, look at me making this beat. Because let's be real, like actual beat making on the camera is like kind of boring to some people, but if you like show them a sparkly keyboard and be like, oh, I'm making a beat, they'll be like, oh, you're a producer, which I still am, but I just want to make it look attractive to y'all. And it actually brought in a lot of clients, and like, yeah.
Yeah, when I post something serious about music, like everyone's like, what?
Exactly.
But then when I post like a meme and just say something stupid, everyone's like, that's funny.
Ryan,
like, send me
Ryan, you just posted that cat meme.
Yeah, hey,
I mean, I literally saw right before the broadcast, I'm scrolling, I'm like, Schwab Digital back.
Yeah, you know, very unserious.
See, and I remembered it. So, well done on the cat memes. Everybody needs a cat meme. Dom's video is ready. Okay, I was talking earlier about Dom Ravinius, co-founder of Mixing Night, and he has trained himself into a lethal K-pop producer. He has been racking up singles, and I am going to let Dom tell you about his latest success. It's pretty exciting.
Yo, what is up, Mixing Night family? I'm coming to you from my studio in Hamburg, Germany. And I just wanted to jump in and really wish you all a great night tonight. I mean, I would love to be with you in New York City, but I can't right now. But there's something to celebrate as well, and I wanted to share that because in my K-pop world, I just had a release today with a great group called aespa, and I produced a single of one of the group members, which is called Ning Ning. And this is the cover. This is the song called Bored. It's not the green one, it's the one above that. And not only that, we are dominating China's charts right now. Tencent Music Chart #1, QQ Music Chart #1. And that just happened today. I wanted to share that with you because I'm really happy. And I wish you all a great night. Maybe Ken wants to play a couple seconds of that song. Anyway, talk to all of you soon. Hopefully meeting you all of you soon. And have a great night. Bye.
I'm so pretty in your head, boy, yeah. Picking flowers, put them right behind my ear. Eyes catch you daydreaming. Look at the signs, love is so.
Cranley for buying ALLCOMP. ALLCOMP! Thank you, Seamus. Woo! You're helping us offset the cost of the show. My God. New York City is expensive.
Knob that you can put after your limiter to turn up your. Get the couple extra dB of gain on your
What's it called?
It's just called a knob right now. I don't even know.
Something new from Make Believe Audio?
It's insane. The knob, I got it.
Anybody else seen anything? Marcus, did anything catch you?
Just walking the floor and seeing all the vendors and friends that we see at all these conferences and just being connected. When you walk the floor and someone just comes up to you, I went to Wavy Wayne before we came here. Up into John Crivet, our friend at AES. So it's just seeing friendly faces over time at these events and connecting. And of course, I did walk the floor to get my content for social media to get the videos and stuff. But yeah, so looking forward to being back there tomorrow.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm really here for the people. I was here the last 2 years for the people. I've got all the gear I need forever and ever. And you know, it's interesting to see what's on the floor and what new technologies are emerging. You never know when something's going to just be like, holy shit, I need that one. But for the most part, the show isn't catching me much. The people are catching me a whole lot. I do like the studio insurance booth, I gotta say. It's good to see my friends at SSL.
We lost a New York giant this week. Jay Hatch, my dear friend of 19 years, has passed away. The last time I saw him was at the AES convention in New York City, doing what he always does, inspiring a studio full of young creatives to see their own potential and bring it out of them. In 2005, Jay Hatch and Don DiNapoli founded the iStandard Producers Movement in New York City. They hosted beat battles in New York and soon expanded to a dozen other cities across America. Hatch's influence on hip-hop cannot be overstated. The iStandard movement hosted an insane number of producers that would go on to become the biggest producers in hip-hop. Just the producers that I have gone on to work with that have gone through the iStandard system include Cardiac, Kenai Finch, David D.A. Doman, Clams Casino, and Symbolic One. And that just scratches the surface. The first beat battle I ever judged, Rockweiler was a fellow judge, and I picked Clams Casino that night as my favorite to win the battle. The last event I judged was the Beast of the Beats New York City, and my fellow judges were Ill Mind and Rockweiler. This was the reach and the connectivity that Jay Hatch and the iStandard movement had. Hatch inspired so many people and was very free with his knowledge, which always inspired me to do the same. He helped shape hip-hop culture, giving so many opportunities and opening so many doors for hip-hop creatives. I would encourage all of you to take a life lesson from Jay Hatch and be connective, spread positivity, support music and your creative friends, and pour one out tonight for the realest dude I have ever known, the irreplaceable Jay Hatch. I love you, brother. I will remember you forever. Jay Hatch, play my shit.
Walk the beach half the time, and putting yourself in that kind of an environment really completely changes things. So before I actually had any money, I would just take a walk around the block and reset my brain if I needed to detox in the moment. But burnout, that's a tough thing. You got to be really careful about that. Anybody else?
Can I offer the total Z to that A,
Yes.
Ken? You sound so peaceful and serene in Ecuador, but aside from doing music all day, I fight my burnout by fighting fire with fire. I actually am an amateur MMA fighter.
No shit.
And there's just something about the archaic and the caveman urge to just punch and kick people in a controlled space, of course, and also to be punched and kicked and choked and wrestled back. It's all love, honestly. Me and all the guys over there at the dojo, we love each other, but it's nice to have a space where music is not the actual most important thing. The actual most important thing for me at 8 p.m. every night is, oh snap, is that a right hook coming my way?
Yeah.
So I think just having hobbies outside of your creative space is probably a good thing.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't know you were a MMA fan. I'm a huge UFC fan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I watch all the Saturday night fights and the pay-per-views, almost everything. So if you want to know where I am on a Saturday night, it's in the studio with the UFC fights up on my big screen and watching people beat the shit out of each other while I am making records. So, but I find the reason I like UFC is, it's every style of fighting with different parameters. So you match different fighting styles. When me and Michael first worked together, I had him produce an orchestra on a different song. And when we were done with that song, we really, sometimes you just click with people. And you just know, like, the way that person makes music completely makes sense with my brain. We should be working together. And we both felt that way. And afterwards, Michael was like, I don't want this to be the last thing. What else can we do together? And I'm like, I don't know. So I went through my song catalog. I'm a songwriter. And I went through all of my songs that I had written that I was like, how the fuck did this never get placed? Are you kidding me right now? And I took all of those, I took two or three of my favorites, and I stripped the acapellas off, and I sent them on grid to Michael with no musical reference, only the acapellas. I wanted to hear his complete reinterpretation of it. And the first thing I got back was just like, oh my God, we're on to something. And it started out as he would send me a salvo of music, and I would chop it up and do my thing and add and subtract and send it back, and then we would just go back and forth until we had something that was just like, wow, this is it. So that's Obscene Stealers, and that's how that whole process came to be. Let's see. I think I'm gonna try to do I'm gonna do the UAD Spark top line vocal suite. That thing is a beast. Is Angelo Dodaro in here right now?
Present.
Is Kelsey Dodaro in here right now?
Wow,
Kels, does anything look familiar, Kels? Does anything look familiar, Kels? So this next song is a friend of mine named Angelo Dodaro. He's amazing. So he's a pop punk artist. He helped Mixing Night early in our, like when we started live streaming, it was the second week of lockdown during pandemic. And we live streamed, this is our like 86th show. And Angelo was really instrumental in helping us market the show early on, and so that we could spend as little as humanly possible but actually try and reach a few people. And he was incredibly effective, charged us nothing for his amazing talents, and I've always wanted to give back to him. And then recently he sent me a bunch of songs of his. He started a new project and I heard his vocals on them, and vocals are my thing, and well, one of my things. And I heard him, I was like, Angelo, get your ass on a plane, get out here. I am going to show you what your voice is capable of doing. And then you can go off and cut the rest of your album on your own. But let me do 5 or 6 songs with you and show you what you have. So that was the mission. And you know, Angelo came in, of course, nervous. Everybody's nervous to work with me. I don't know why. I'm a teddy bear. So, you know, Angelo came in real nervous, and like many other independent artists, and artists in general, I don't think he believed that he could deliver the quality of vocals that we ended up getting, but I knew that he could. So half of the mission with vocals was just push until he gave me those fucking amazing vocal takes. And then once I had all of the takes together, you can see right here I have 11 vocal takes right here. And, you know, and if I played you each one individually, what you would probably notice is that sometimes they get progressively better. Sometimes he just knocks one out of the park way better than the others. And sometimes it's just a jigsaw puzzle. And if you see where I comped from, so my comp is first line 8, second and third line 9, fourth line 10, fifth line 3, sixth line 6, seventh line 10. You got it. There is no two consistent best takes. And what I'm looking for with a vocal take is to put together the single best comp that sounds like they just obliterated that fucking vocal take, and there's not a breath or a moment out of place at all. Everything's perfectly in tune and time and pitch. So let me play you the lead vocal comp with no I'm so sorry, Angelo. I'm so sorry. This is gonna be with no pitch correction.
Sorry, Freddie.
Now, I will preface this by saying that when I comp vocals, and I will show you this later in a couple minutes, I comp through auto-tune. And I do that so that all of these best choice takes are presented to my ears in best tuned takes, so that I'm not listening to all of these things and going, oh, that's not the take. That's no, he was flat on it. He was sharp on it. I'm not thinking about that at all. I'm thinking about, okay, what tools do I have? Auto-tune. Now I have UAD vocal suite, and that's, you know, I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'll play the comp.
You think you're so...
You think you're so...
You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You wear that mask so well, like you forgot what's behind. And when I needed you, you're always out of time.
Alright, so this has an auto-tune band for, I don't know what they call it, it's a tuner. So, So I set the key of the song, which is E flat major, and then I set the speed of the retune, which I think I'm probably going to dial in. It seems a little that I need it to grab a little bit harder. So I'm going to set it to about 20, and let's see what's happening.
You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind.
Here's the compression bands that you have choices on.
You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time.
De-esser.
You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time.
Yeah, that de-esser is nice. I love this because it's really simple controls, and if you have been paying attention tonight, you know I'm a basic bitch. I love easy shit. I don't want my brain having to think about the technology while I am trying to mix records. So this packs a lot of power into it, but the way they lay each module out is so easy to understand. It literally took me like 5 minutes to understand the whole plugin and really start getting powerful results from it. Let me keep going.
You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You wear that mask so well. You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time.
Okay, that's sick. I just found this. So the FX duck. So as you push up the mix of the delay, the delay overpowers the lead vocal, and you don't want that. So what the FX duck does is whenever the lead vocal is singing, it ducks the delay, and then whenever the vocal is done singing, it lets the delay explode up for a second and be loud. And that's really the only way to get the delay that loud that way. Let me show you.
You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time.
That's slick. I like that. Yeah, I like that.
You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You think you're so clever.
That's got this saturator on it as well. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's got all these different types of saturation. Let's go through them.
You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time.
I know there's something else I haven't tried yet. Oh yeah, the modulation. Let's play with the modulation and see what we get.
You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. You think you're so clever, got me 2 steps behind. Well, you're playing the victim for the very last time. That mask so well. like you forgot what's behind. And when I needed you, you're always out of time. You think you're so clever, but now I see you're not the puppet master, can't control me. You think you're so clever, but I'm breaking free. No more of your games, nor my energy. You think you're so clever. When diamonds lose their shine, you say it's me that's gone blind. I'm sorry you were right again. Let's go back and play pretend. A story where you're the victim. You think you're so clever, but now I see you're not the puppet master. Can't cut.
Oh, are we live? Oh, I was just having fun. I'm sorry. Yeah, they did it. Yeah, that packs a punch. That's got a lot in it. Anybody got any questions about it that I can show you guys?
Is it just a question? As far as you changing around like the hierarchy of like where the EQ and dynamics are, could you show that? Like as far as like switching around like EQ first, dynamics.
Can you? I don't know if you can.
I seen like an arrow, like, and that's why I was assuming that's what it was.
Like in the top middle, right?
Yeah, it was like
I think I saw it too.
Good to see you, by the way.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I'm not finding it yet.
That dead smack,
Go
right
back
wherever
to
you was.
3. With the EQ compression.
And
right
I see
in the-
9 and EQ in the middle. Yeah, that. Like I'm gonna.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's cool. So if you want your EQ before your compressor, say your vocal's a little tubby, and you know, roll out some bass before you compress it, make the compression a little bit smoother. Then you would want to EQ before compression, or if your microphone is fantastic and you can just compress and then work on it after. That's slick. Good catch. I didn't know that. What else? What other crazy things does this do that I have not? Oh, okay. Well, there's that. So the tube section has a change between solid state and tube, which probably sounds different on all of these settings. Man, they really packed it in here. Yeah, this is really dope. Okay, that turns it off. In and out. I think I have it covered. Man, this does a lot. So I am gonna take that sound and just put it over here. So when I comp vocals, I want to show you basically how I comp vocals. So you know, I record through a great chain, and then when I comp through auto-tune, not auto-tune, this tuner thing. So I comp through the top line tuner, set the key of the song, which is E flat major. I set the speed time, which is 20 milliseconds on this, and then I'll set a loop around one vocal. I'll usually go to like eighth notes. I try and set a really musical loop that I can tap my foot to. So one bar.
Like you forgot what's behind. Like you forgot what's behind.
So I'm gonna go through all of these individual takes. You just heard the. No, I'm not. Okay. So my UF8 is not working, but I can do this with the mouse. I'm just gonna extend my loop a little bit so I have mouse time. Okay. I'm gonna let you hear each of these through the top line vocal suite.
Like you forgot what's behind. 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 Behind. Like you forgot what's behind. Like you forgot what's behind. You forgot what's behind.
So you can hear each of those takes Sometimes the auto-tune grabs it perfectly. Sometimes the tuner is grabbing it just a little bit too much. And those are the takes I don't pick. So, you know, I'm just looking for that take that just hits me magically. And usually that is auto-tune working seamlessly. But every once in a blue moon, you kind of really like the sound of auto-tune smacking you. So, that's it. Who's missing? Okay, I'm going to take some... Okay. So when I set up my vocal comping, I set it up like I try and mix the lead vocal to sound like it's mixed in the track. I just pick one take and I mix that take. And then I make every single take feed into that same chain at the same level so that every single thing that I'm listening to is treated exactly the same. And then I just listen down with a loop and pick the very best one. Sometimes there will be 2 or 3 that you got to narrow it down, but eventually it'll tell you the right one. So here's the difference between comping without the tuner and with the tuner. So tuner off. Sorry, Angelo. I apologize, dude. You really murdered these fucking takes. You really did.
Like you forgot what's behind. 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 Forgot what's behind. Like you what's behind. Like you forgot what's behind. Like you forgot what's behind.
I wouldn't have chosen any of those, but with the tuner, it sounds fine. When you set up your vocals for comping, try auto-tune. The only time auto-tune tends not to work is if you have slower, bendy vocals, and then the auto-tune wants to stair-step your vocals a little bit too much. So you've always got to be really tuned into how auto-tune is affecting the feel of your vocal performance. As a mixer, mixing and using auto-tune, as an artist, putting it on your own stuff, you know, sometimes you can get this beautiful bendy performance and then you slap a little bit of tuning on it and it just doesn't feel right anymore. Okay, so that's a top-line vocal suite from UAD Spark. Man, they did it. Okay, I'm going to take some questions from the viewers. Leon L3. I often hear people, hey Ken, I often hear people talk about the 76 and LA2A emulation comps for vocals. What are the advantages and disadvantages of placing them in parallel instead of series for this specific combo? I don't parallel my vocals, so I don't think I'm the authority to answer that. I almost always put compressors and limiters in series on vocal, and that gets me the result that I want. I'm not hating on anybody who uses parallel compression. If it's your thing, great. It ain't my thing. I do use parallel like distortion on ALLCOMP, where you get it right and then you dial the mix back, and then it's a little bit of heavy distortion mixed with a nice clean signal that sounds great. But yeah, so that's what I do. Oh, shout out to AR Mix, who just updated ALLCOMP. Whoop whoop. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, let's tap in the viewers again. Bum bum bum. Does anybody have a question they want to answer or ask the room? I'll ask one. How do you navigate long-term career growth in an industry that is constantly evolving? Who are the old heads in here? Anybody? Just me? Where did Ryan Schwab go? All right, let me give you young bucks in this room some advice.
Yes.
From somebody 30 plus years in who has reinvented myself countless times. I think you gotta love what you do. What was the original question? The long term. See, the brain goes long term. That's the problem. Long term advice for reinvention. I think the best advice I can give you is surround yourself with quality people. When you surround yourself with shit people, it rubs off on you. It just makes you miserable. And I have sacrificed a lot of money and a lot of great credits to keep myself away from shit people in the music business. Hashtag Diddy. And last time I worked with Diddy was 2008. All this shit that's happening with Diddy now is 2008 forward. So, I gotta tell you guys I won't tell you the Diddy story that might get me hunted down. But I'll tell you the while we were mixing Danity Kane, the Damaged record, Welcome to the Dollhouse, yeah. So Diddy comes in and he's all amped and he puts perfumes on. He puts Sean John perfumes on, 3 on my left forearm, 3 on my right forearm, and 3 on the assistant's left forearm and 3 on the assistant's right forearm. And it's just me and him and the assistant in the control room. And then he grabs my arm and he brings it up to his nose and he takes a huge inhale of this arm, and then he does this one, and then he does this one, and then he does this one, this one, and this one. Then he does the assistant's arms, and then he starts narrowing it down. And I am here to tell you that the fragrance for Sean John 2008 was this one right here. So that was a little Ken Lewis mixed with Sean John, but he picked it, so it must have had something good. Although his taste, I don't know if I'd trust his taste for anything, but all right. It's good to see that guy in prison. I think a lot of people feel that way. And this is from somebody who's worked with him a fair amount. I've never seen him do anything criminal. Like, I think a lot of people out there, you hear like, oh, you work with Puffy and you never said anything. I never saw him do anything criminal. It's not criminal to be a shit human being to everybody around you. That is not criminal, but that was Puff. Yeah, so. But I believe the stories that are coming out. Yeah, he's probably going to spend the rest of his life in jail. Desert Island gear. Okay, who has their Desert Island gear? Anybody? Marcus Manderson, what is your Desert Island gear? You got to do your segment, Marcus Manderson.
You know, I like. There's this flat keyboard from Esri Audio. It's called the. I can't think of the name of it. It's almost like paper thin, and it's real small. They have a 25 X-Key Air. It's a really flat keyboard. I like that, and for software, I would go with Contact 8 right now. I'm looking at 8. And that's sort of a cheat code because Contact has everything in it that I need.
What are your favorites in Contact, though?
Right now, Albion 1, Spitfire Audio, I like their strings. I do like the Cremona Quartet, the Native Instruments strings, and Heaviosity Damage 2, and anything Keep Force makes for epic cinematic trailers. They have Watchkeeper, Berserker, they have this Devastator Breakout series, so for trailers and epic cinematic, I'm going straight to the
Do you use any of the East West Composer Cloud?
I have it, and I need to open it because I haven't dived in like I should.
Yeah, I find the symphonic stuff is probably not quite as great as the Spitfire stuff, but it's got a lot of usable things. And typically when I'm doing an orchestra, I never use the same library to build the orchestra. I'm always mixing and matching different libraries, and my Rolly is my secret weapon. I wouldn't bring it to a desert island with me, but I would definitely bring it to a producer battle that I wanted to fucking win. So, yeah, the Big Lou's All Stars was talking about the Rolly recently, and yeah, the Rolly is that like the keyboard with all the black rubber on it, and you get in between the notes, but it's only monophonic. So it's amazing for like stringed instruments and horns and woodwinds, things like that. And the realism, if you're willing to struggle long enough to lock it in, the realism that you can achieve with the Rolly is mind-blowing. But I think my desert island would be my C800G, my Sony C800G. I bought that thing in like 1998, and it is still immaculate and still sounds absolutely stellar. And I don't think there has ever once been an artist that I have ever put on that microphone who didn't sound great. And that is a real cheat code for if you're an engineer, especially a tracking engineer out there. You gotta have the right equipment, like these cloud microphones right in front of me. If you've seen, we've been rocking cloud microphones all night. So clouds are ribbon mics, and the ribbon mic listens equally from the front and the back. And ribbon mics they sound really different than condensers and dynamics. They have this kind of warm realism to them that nothing else really has. And like, I love them on drum overheads and guitar amps, acoustic guitars. The right vocalist sounds absolutely stunning on a 44 ribbon. And about a month ago, I was producing choirs for a big artist down at Flux. And I emptied Flux's mic cabinet of every vintage thing that we had, and everything was in it right. If you watched the last episode, I did a whole thing on it. You can see it. And I put a pair of 44s X'd in the middle of the room, so it's capturing equally front and equally back, but it's basically capturing the ambience off the back wall and kind of the vibe of the room. And the 44s were the cheapest microphones in the entire studio, and well, in the entire room that I had set up. I had like vintage 47s and AKG C28s and M269s and an Elam 251, and those ribbons sounded the best. I worked off the entire production session. I only listened to those two ribbons because they were just the most even representation of that choir in front of me, and it just felt really natural. So thank you, Roger Cloud, for building some frickin' amazing microphones. And I can't wait to use them on another project. So one other thing I'll tell you, kind of a secret cheat code with ribbon mics as well, is when I'm doing like a horn section or string. This works well with strings as well, but horns is a little more directional. I'll line 4 horn players up in a row, and I'll put 4 ribbon mics right in front of them at whatever distance I want, and then they all play forward, and all of these mics are hearing forwards and backwards, but they're rejecting the sides completely. So the horn player standing 3 feet to this guy's side is about 20 dB lower in this microphone than the guy that's blasting right into it. And if you did the same thing with a cardioid, these two would be pretty close to each other in volume, but a ribbon isolates this really well. But you got to remember that it hears equally out of the back. So you could put a horn player on both sides but then you have to balance them in the room. But that's how I cut horns and things like that, because the isolation is just so good. So yeah, there you have it. Jimmick, 4 things to have in effects on vocals. Jimmick asks, hey Ken, what are 4 things to have in effects on vocals that you must have? Well, you never must have anything. You must treat the vocal how the song demands it and how the artist's performance demands it. And anytime that you're doing the same things on every vocal without really listening to it, or without asking yourself, like, why am I doing this? What am I hoping to achieve? Is this the right tool? Those kinds of things that I think you need to be really conscious of, those types of things. But for tools, compression is certainly probably the most important overall. Helps just even out the dynamic range and let that vocal sit right on top of the mix. And EQ, of course, helps you rebalance. Reverb is probably the 3rd one. And I'd say a de-esser is the 4th, because to me, a lot of the difference between a great vocal sound and a good vocal sound is how well it's de-essed. Because if you over de-ess it, it sounds lispy, and you just lose all of the S's, and they're just not even there anymore. But if you then dial back the de-esser, and you just let it go, sometimes those S's can really rip your head off. One of the great thing about ribbon mics is they're really soft on S's. So if you have a microphone that's just killing your voice with S's, try the Cloud 44, and it's probably going to fix that problem without any added sauce. So that's that. Marcus, how's your segment going tonight? We're gonna figure out Marcus's segment right now. Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night You ready? You want to sit?
And let me know if you can hear me from over here, guys.
I can move this over here.
Mike's move. I didn't know that. So.
Let's make sure we don't turn. I think we're good.
Are we good? Cool. So for those who don't know, Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, back with another Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment. Yes! In this Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment, we're going to talk all about plugins that you can use. In the center, the computer's right here. That you can use Halloween, because October is Halloween month. I'll see if I can slide over a little bit so that you can get the good angle. We're going to start with the great team over at ASTS. They make some incredible plugins for this time of year. I think everything they make is centered around horror, scary stuff. So definitely check them out. And again, the links will be in the Discord community. If you're not a member, be sure to check the links in the description to sign up and join the Discord group. We have Audio Imperia Constrictor, another great plugin. This is using some string sounds and just giving them that eerie vibe. So check out Audio Imperia Constrictor. We have Fallout Music Group. They make some incredible plugins. I like the Unstrung, Unsung, Unstrummed, Unblown series. So the Unseries, I don't know if they call it that, but Unstrung is basically some creepy strings again. Unsung is creepy vocals that you can use. Unstrummed is creepy guitars, and Unblown is creepy woodwind. So they have basically every orchestral section there. Then we have Damage Uncharted 88. I mentioned Heaviosity earlier, the Damage drums. This is a piano that they took and they mangled it and made it into a horror instrument. It's really great for horror, scary vibes. And then we have Density from Mammoth Audio. Density is a plugin that has a bunch of sound effects that you can use in the horror and horror trailer stuff. And then after that, we have two from Native Instruments, who we also mentioned earlier. Thrill, which I really like. It's like a drone, like a horror drone. I don't know how to explain it, but it sounds really great. And the other one is Mysteria, which is like horror vocals. So if you have a Native Instruments package, I think one of the complete packages, you can have access to both of those. But don't quote me on that. Then we have we have the sample tracks. Again, a lot of their catalog is also centered around making samples for horror plugins, horror samples that you can use, and you can see their catalog here. Again, these links will be in the description. We have String Ache from Silence Other Sounds. Also, a lot of their catalog is ideal for this time of year. This one has some more violins and orchestral elements that create that horror vibe. And then we have Sound Iron Sick. This is a series. I think they have 7 of these or 8 of these. You can get the Sick Ultimate Bundle, or you can check out the different versions here. You can check out some demos there on their page. This is some they take a lot of vocal elements, some orchestral elements as well. They create these different packs for the horror vibes. And last but not least, we have Shiver from Zero G. Some more Halloween things to scare you this month, to give you shivers down your spine. Shout out to Zero G. Again, these links will be in the Discord group probably later this week, not tonight. But definitely check those out and have a safe Halloween, everyone. And let's get back to Mixing Night. All right, this has been Marcus Manderson with another Mixing Night Metaverse moment. Be safe and be well, everyone. All right, peace.
Stay put. All right. All right.
What do we got?
So, for those that don't know, this is the first time me and Marcus Manderson are ever meeting in person.
4 years later.
Dude, it's great to finally meet you. Actually, that's happening a lot today. I'm meeting a lot of people that have followed this show, that I have communicated with for years, that I've never been in the same room with. And now we get to all hang out together tonight and have some community and tap into the AES convention and the Nerd Fest going on over at the Javits Center. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how I found you, which when we first started Mixing Night, I was just scrolling, I don't know, Instagram or Facebook one day, and I noticed I found this guy, Marcus Manderson, and he was finding all of these contests, like these production and songwriting contests and things like that. And he was posting them up for people to discover and try them. And I thought that was the coolest thing, and it was exactly the same type of thing that we wanted to do with Mixing Night, building community. And And so I brought you on board and asked you if you would do Marcus Manderson Mixing Night Man of Mystery. And 4.5 years later, you are still going. You've never missed an episode. Your episodes are... I mean, if you guys don't know Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, he always brings you the best curated free stuff out there on the internet to find. If it's not free, it's going to be super cheap and a ridiculously great deal. So always, you can search back through the previous episodes and you can search for Marcus Manderson and you can check all of his stuff. Although a lot of the stuff is like timely for the moment, like it's on sale for free for the next month as a promotion. So snooze lose, I guess. Anyway, what are you doing with sync trailers nowadays? What's been the arc there?
The arc has been really getting more into the trailer space. Getting more into the trailer space and working with libraries, figuring out the right libraries and people to work with, learning from people like Michael Moss, who has an incredible trailer course. I would say for me the most impactful course I've taken in the trailer space.
That sync music business?
Sync music. The other one, that's trailer music production, I think. So he has 2 out now. So he has one that's only focused on trailers. I did take the sync music one also. The trends in sync in trailers right now, I've seen a lot of neoclassical requests and also a lot of requests for trailerized vocals or vocal covers. So I think that's a current trend. And obviously Halloween, we're sort of past the time, but you might get some last minute requests there. And then Christmas, so a lot of holiday, not necessarily Christmas, but they want you to use the word holiday so that it appeals to more holiday season shows and projects. So
I find guitars are a little bit on the out on trailers now, which, these things ebb and flow. They have a sound to them, and usually the sound is chasing like a hot trend. Like, I remember the old Kanye Black Skinhead with the triplet drum feel. That was the biggest sync song for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And you heard so many sync songs that ripped that off. And not one from me that made a BMW commercial. I don't know what you're talking about there. I don't know, but I digress. I mean, it is just a drum pattern. But yeah, so you'll spot these trends in sync, and you'll start hearing them on commercials, and you'll hear the same thing kind of ripped off over and over, and you're like, oh, that's one to tune into. I never do this. If you're still watching, like and subscribe to this channel. I think we are approaching or just past 14,000 subscribers. Woo! Now, when we put a 0 on that, I'm going to be super happy, but 14,000 is... The thing that makes me most happy about that is the people that tune in are the fucking salt of the earth greatest people. I love them. And that's honestly the reason that we kept doing the show. Like, as the pandemic waned, all of us on staff were like, do we keep the show going? We don't monetize it, and we spend money on it. And so we lose money to give you a free show. But it's just become the thing that we didn't know that we needed. And it's the funnest thing. And I feel like my skills are constantly leveled up from doing this show, because I'm constantly making sure I don't suck in front of you guys. So, but like the sprint mixing, I've been sprint mixing for 4.5 years. Well, no, I've been sprint mixing forever, but on the show for 4.5 years. And I have noticed a noticeable level up just from doing the sprint mixes in my decision making. It's faster, it's sharper, it's more on point, and it's all just getting more in touch. I've done a lot of stuff about getting more in touch with the music. And forgetting the tools. Learn the tools, and then don't think about the tools ever. Just think about the music. And I just bought a record player. And I just acquired 2 old catalogs from people in my area. Amazing record. Holy God. So now I'm training my guys on feel with old records. I'm putting on like Sly and the Family Stone or like the Gap Band or fucking Ray Charles or, Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon or, any of those things. And I start pointing out why this record stood the test of time. Like, what about these drums or this bass line or how they work together, the groove that's built? And then when you listen to all those old records, you hear all of the frickin' break beats that everybody has sampled forever. And you're like, what? Why did you change the record? That's that's rappers, whatever. That's Sly and the Family Stone. It's just a fucking break beat.
Break
So,
beat. All the classics.
So yeah, I digress. But what else we got to talk about, Marcus?
What are you most excited about for next year?
What am I most excited about for next year? Like just in music in general? Anushka Sen. That's who I'm excited about. I mean, I'm excited about a lot of things, but so I just started working with this Indian actress named Anushka Sen. She's been acting for 14 years, and she's only 22 years old. And she's a brilliant actress. And she, kind of like Angelo, didn't really identify herself as a singer, like as a vocalist, because she had never been seen professionally like that. But, she sent me some stuff that she had sung on, and just like Angelo, I listened to it and I was like, girl, get over here. I am going to show you what your voice is capable of. And, we've done 2 songs together now, and I think we're going to do a bunch more. She's an amazing singer. And one of the cheat codes that makes her such an amazing singer is her acting chops. So when I tell her, put yourself in the moment, put yourself in the scene, envision what this song means to you, envision what the imagery that this song creates when you think of the lyric, and then emote it just like an actress. And it's a different level. Like, I can get some vocalists to do that, but when you can get a real actress to act the part, it is a total game changer. And so I found, and I remember Dr. Luke saying that about Katy Perry. It was one of the things that made Katy Perry such an exceptional vocalist is she's a good actress, and she turns into actress behind the microphone. And when you hear her different songs in her catalog, it totally makes sense. E.T. sounds nothing like California Girls, sounds nothing like Wide Awake. It's just like she really becomes that song and delivers the biggest, most connected version of that song. And Anushka can do that, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. It's going to be amazing. Are you working on anything that you're excited for next year?
Well, I want to tack onto that really quick, because that's the great thing that's about this community, is that it's introduced me to a lot of great artists like Taj, Des Rocks, Coburn, and now Anushka. So, and then the people that are in this community that also can sing at that level and perform. And that's what's great about this. For me, I think I'm excited about going back to the AI question, because I use AI a lot, ChatGPT. I'm excited to see what these platforms will integrate. I'm glad that Logic has stem separator. I love RX. I was using that all the way up until Logic to put their thing in there. Just excited to see where they go next. Hopefully some things to help me. I need a Ken Lewis AI mix plugin. Hopefully that's what's coming next year.
Yeah, eventually the AI will put me out of business too, but hopefully I'll make enough records before that.
But no, I'm excited to see what's on the horizon for Mixing Night Audio.
Oh man, we have a sneak peek. I can start letting the cat out of the bag. It's close. We've been building a delay for a long time, and so when we started building this delay, I really had just assumed that somebody else built the perfect delay for my brain. And as it turns out, I went through like 30 or 40 different GUIs, and I was just like, nobody cracked it. Everybody's either putting way too many controls, or you need to be like already proficient in how delays work and what delays do to use those things. And I wanted to build a delay that had the simplest interface to understand, but was also very powerful and quick to get great sounds out of. And so that's what we're in very late stage of building that. It's going to be the easiest, most creative delay for people who don't know how the hell to use a delay, but also for pros like me who want great delay fast. Boom, there it is. So yeah, that's coming at the end of this year, hopefully by Christmas. It's coming. We've been retooling Mixing Night Audio. We got a fierce team cranking right now, and I got to do shout outs. Oh my god, how could I have not done shout outs for this episode? This show could not have happened without so many people. And I really want to make sure that I thank them all. So, shout outs. Drew and Erica from UAD, Universal Audio. Thank you, Drew and Erica. Lori Lewis, Dom Ravinius, Jonathan Garcia, and Nolan Monagold, the two killers. Kyle Wolf, the best videographer on planet Earth. Josh Schultz is catering all the amazing food tonight. And the open bar. Ben Senek down from Toronto. Thank you for coming, Ben. Dave Crafa and the entire staff at the Cutting Room. You guys rock. You guys have been so helpful. Thank you so much. Me and Dave Crafa go back 29 years to 1994 when Dave first opened the Cutting Room in Midtown Manhattan. It was his first location. Half of the place was his apartment. Half of the place was his bedroom. And that was where I did my first freelance work out of. All right, Dave and Judy Durr from Empirical Labs, they were in earlier. I missed them so much. It was great to see them tonight. My Mixing Night community, I absolutely adore you. You are the whole reason this show keeps going. Thank you for always tuning in and telling your friends and sharing the love. Mark Urselli, the most interesting man in the world. He was here earlier. Rockham, did I see Rockham? I don't know if Rockham made it tonight. I hope he did. Jeff Ellis, Rory Miller, Sam Champagne, Ryan Schwab, Roger Cloud, Matt from Audio Movers. Audio Movers is sponsoring us tonight, and those people are just the coolest. We were talking last episode about mixing to your phone. I always check my every mix, Atmos and stereo. I always check with Audio Movers to my iPhone 15 speakers, because the fold down of the Atmos mix is what Apple sends you by default. The way that your iPhone comes by default, they feed you the Atmos fold down out of your phone speakers. I don't even know why. But so if your Atmos mix doesn't sound great, then you're really doomed. So every time I'm mixing Atmos or stereo, Audio Movers to this, and it's great for revisions. Whenever I have clients that want to sit in on the mix, I can send them an Audio Movers link and a Zoom link, and they get me on Zoom, and virtually in real time, they get my mix bus in high fidelity, piped directly to them halfway across the world, and we can sit there in real time tweaking the mix until it's locked in for exactly what we want. So thank you, Audio Movers. That is some fierce technology. Who else do we have? We have Cooper Anderson is in the building. Oh man, Cooper was my assistant for like 10 years. He worked on We Are Young with me. He was an engineer on We Are Young. Yeah, that dude throws down. He's got a bunch of gold records. Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery. Yes, Marcus Manderson. Thank you to B&H Photo. Isabel Cummings, thank you for taking some pictures for us. Noah Anderson, Bobby Tiemann, Help Me Devon, Help Me Devon, Help Me Devon, that's not even spelled right. Help Me Devon, Elgene, Courtney, and Jay. Man, I was on Help Me Devon 2 weeks ago when I was in town producing Anushka Sen, and I gotta say, those guys really prepped for that episode incredibly well. Clearly, they're all really gifted record makers. They understand the studio, they understand the gear, but they also understand the concept of making music. And they also really did their research into me and asked me poignant questions and went deep into my discography. I really had a great time with those guys. And if you have not checked out the Help Me Devon podcast, or is it the Audio Nerds podcast? I think the other one is the Audio Nerds podcast. Definitely check them out. You're going to absolutely love it. And check out our episode 112 that just dropped last week. But Help Me Devon just dropped episode 113 today. So check that one out too. And thank you to all of my guests in the studio tonight and all through the building. It was really an honor to share this evening with you guys. Live from New York City during AES. I know we had some technical difficulties, but you know, all things considered, we did a pretty good show. I'm happy with it. And hopefully this might become a regular thing. So maybe next year we'll see you at AES from some other studio. Just Blaze is on the chat roll. Are you freaking kidding me? All right, before I sign off, I've got to tell some Just Blaze stories. What shall I tell about Just Blaze? I will tell the throwback guitar story. So I used to mix a whole bunch of Just Blaze productions, and I used to play guitar and other instruments on a bunch of his stuff. And we were mixing Throwback for Usher on the Confessions album, which is a diamond album, one of my 4 diamonds. And he had another guitar player in, and he was trying to get this really specific sound, and the guy spent all friggin' day and couldn't nail it. And Justin comes in and plays it for me, and he's like, man, I just can't get this sound. And I'm like, let me hear it. And he plays it for me, and I'm like, bro, I can get that for you in fucking 5 minutes. He's like, no, you can't. That guy's been trying all day. I'm like, who do you think you're talking to right now? So I sent, Brent was my production partner at the time, and Brent went to back to my place and got my guitars and my pedals, and I used, the sound of that is a Zvex Fuzz Factory, which really emulates a Big Muff, and a Gibson Les Paul, and into a Line 6, and that was instant sound. I just dialed it up. It took me about 5 minutes to adjust it, and that's the sound on the record. And I locked it in, and I called up Just Blaze, and I was like, Just, I got it. And he's like, no, you don't. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And so he comes in, and he's like, all right, play it. So I played it, and he was like, okay. So that was the sound. So man, Justin and I have made a million records together. I was in the room when Justin made the PSA beat for Jay-Z on the Black album, and we were mixing Young Guns Friday Night. So we were mixing Friday Night for Young Guns, and Justin was on the producer desk back here, and he had an MPC and a box of records and a turntable and headphones, and he was just cooking in headphones behind me while I was mixing, not paying attention to anything I was doing. And at one point, he goes, Ken, can you put the MPC up on the Bigs? And I'm like, yep, okay. And then he presses play on the PSA beat, and it was a musical, religious moment that I will remember like a movie in my mind forever. That was some of the most amazing shit I ever heard come out of speakers. That was just incredible. Can we get that door shut, please? That was just the most amazing thing, and everybody in that room felt it. Every single person in that room was like, oh my God. And then at the end of that night, Justin goes to sleep on the couch as I'm printing passes on the Young Guns mix, and I'm trying to wake him up so that I can get an engineering credit on the Black album. And I'm like, Justin, you got to wake up. Let's track that beat that you cooked up earlier. And he's like, no, come back tomorrow. And I'm knowing, I'm like, if I say yes, we'll come back tomorrow, I'm not coming back, and he's doing it without me. And so 4 or 5 times I'm trying to wake him up. I'm like, Justin, you just got to hit play, dude. I can do everything else. No, we'll do it tomorrow. So of course we didn't print the PSA beat that night. I didn't get to work on the Black album, but I mixed a remix of the PSA beat. So thank you for that, Justin. Man, I've loved working with Just Blaze over the years. All right, I think I'm going to sign off for the night. This has been Mixing Night, New York AES 2024, live from the Cutting Room Studios in New York City. Thank you all for joining me, and tune in next month, probably first Wednesday of November, and we'll be back for the next Mixing Night from my own studio. Take care and have a great night.